according to Cotton, she started realizing that there's a few women in the media community, and that includes music production and podcasts. So since she's part of this organization, she noticed that there's a lack, not exactly nothing, but there's a lack of women participation with this kind of organization. So she was inspired to have to start this program, to having more increase of participants, including especially with women in her line of work. So when she started this about 3 years ago, she yes she started to encourage more kids to come, and this is totally for free. She the medium as you can see at the slide, the medium result would be 1 gig per week, and then she started to have a long-term result, which includes especially the social confidence of the kids. And in terms of well-being, it covers just like what Marta said, the mental well-being of a kid, or in general, is very complex. So because of this, she knows that she will cover the self-esteem of the kids as well. Though there are a lot of barriers in terms of having this program, especially with manpower, like, and how the kids will be participating into the activities, and of course the employees and financial aspects of it. She was not entirely having a hard time, but it was more of a challenge for her. But in overall of the discussion that we had with her, the outcome and the goal of this program is more to be for the kids, and for the kids to be in participation to this program, and for them to build a self-confidence and more on path with what they really want in the near future. So her and her team, and being in this organization, would actually for hoping that this will also connect with their long-term dreams of the kids. And so that's like a short story of how she managed to do that and still doing it. And Jan will try to discuss the statistics.
So for our statistics, we have, as you can see, 14% of people from age 15 to 29 this falls into needs, and it's higher than average in Oslo. For secondary education that have not completed amongst 21 to 29 years old, it's 29%, is higher still from Oslo average, and income level 17.1%, still higher. And as you can see, all of this, like the figure shows that Søndre Nordstrand consistently ranks above the Oslo average amongst youth exclusion. Next, it stems mental health challenges amongst youth stems from these factors like school disengagement, falling into needs, and economic stressors. As you can see, according to the report from OECD in 2018, we can see that it's not so much of the difference in number among from the district and the Oslo average. But as we can see in the report, Norway has relatively low proportion of needs, but those affected face disproportionately severe challenges amongst youth. It's like 6%, 6 times higher than 6 times higher to likely experience depression, and 9 times more likely to report poor health compared to their peers. And it can see you can see it from the mental and behavioral disorders that accounted for 63% of early work disability diagnosis amongst needs. This number is amongst the youth in Oslo.
Yeah. So our MVP is that we have created a Padlet, which is an interactive wall where one can create, brainstorm ideas, share, and collaborate with each other. So the point with this page is that the youth can go into The first one, which we have choose to call Søndre Puls, which is an emoji check-in where the youth can select if you're happy, or nervous, sad. And then you can go into the other page, which we have called Søndre Vibe Check. And this is a page where the youth can collaborate and post their ideas, reflections, and they can share their thoughts. And so it's like an online, easy, accessible place. We haven't created the app, but it's supposed to be free and easy to access, and it will give Karin real-time data. Like she can go in and look what kind of mood the youth are in and what kind of thoughts, if they have difficulties with staying. And it works in any browser.
So how it works, we would like to so you create a board, or we would love to have Karin here because this is for her use, but obviously she's not here. So basically she needs to create a board, design it based on their preference, and then they can make posts for participants, create prompts, and then they can track the data because you can extract the data from the site. And so you have an experience. Ideally, we would love Karin to scan this one, but if she's not here, maybe you can scan it for us just quickly, just so you can see how it looks like. And
Wow.
but I don't know how to put it just so we can see it, or you can.
Yeah, you'd have to change the window.
Okay.
So so this is what's on the screen now. So you have to move your desktop. Yeah, you have to
Swap display.
Oh yeah, try. Yeah, now you're on desktop 2. No, that didn't work.
Okay.
So now it's highlighted. Now you're on. You have to actually move your mouse on that screen over there. Oh yeah. Oh, you've done it. So yeah, it's showing desktop 2 instead of desktop 1 now. That's what you've switched. So make that one larger. See what happens. When you just switch screen, so now you have to go onto that screen and exit
The desktop.
presenter, because now it's just showing you presenter view.
Yeah.
So it's switched when you just switch screen. Where did you do that option?
Oh, because this is our.
I think it was when you in exit.
If you just cancel that one and then drag the Padlet board across that.
Yeah, into that screen. But
Yeah.
now it's all that.
Oh.
No.
Always a problem supporting the process.
There you go.
I'm trying not to be stressed by that.
Now open the one that you want.
The
Yeah. It's now just mirroring your screen.
okay, that's nice.
December, it's
Okay. Okay, I hope that doesn't count in our time, but anyway, okay,
You're good.
thank you. So it's just to show you a real experience of how, because this app was not created by us. We're just basically creating a page for Søndre Sound. So if Karin is here, she can use her personal email or the email for Søndre Sound. So every people from Søndre Sound, her employees, can have access to this as well, that they can be an admin. So you can, for Karin, she can create boards. So I'm using the free feature, but she can pay 9 kroners a month if she want extra features. But the free will work. It's fine. We have limited funds here, so yes, you can create 3 boards, maximum of 3 boards. But we want everything to be in just one board. So for example, hypothetically, she created this, but obviously we created this. And then I'll choose this one, which is this one. You can create a design for your liking. So, for example, this is the title. You can change, Karin can change it. She can put a different description as well. You can put your icons. You can put purple heart because that's their palette color. The wallpaper, there's a lot of options in there. So, this is, you can change, you can design based on your liking. And then afterwards, you can, when you want to post, just click this add sign here, and then you can create your post. As a result, you have this, which we made already. So you can start voting as well if you want. You are not a participant of Søndre Sound, but for testing,
For the
for a practice, you can, just so you know that it works. And then the purpose of Sondre Pulse, the purpose of that, what does it capture? It captures the emotions of the participants, the youths and the kids when they come to the session. At the end of the session, ideally, they will be asked to scan this one. But when they come on the session, they can do attendance as well, for example, like their names, age, and stuff like that. So this how it looks like. And it's more of quantitative part because it's just polls. And then if you are admin, you can count as well how many voted or participated. And on Sunday Vibe Check, you have this. It's more the qualitative part where kids can freely express their uh how they really feel through words. So these are just example of prompt questions which you can see on your phones as well. And then in generating and extracting the data, for example, that it's where a bit of a work will happen. It's not too much of a work. It's very easy. If you will go to share, and then at the bottom part, you will see export as PDF, CSV spreadsheet. Ideally, she can use this one. I don't have something to support this, but you have this. So if we will generate, for example, the
Excel.
yeah, if you will use CSV, it looks like this, which I don't have obviously to support that one. It shows the post number, the name, and the comment. And then I would prefer this export to spreadsheet because if you go to post, for example, you will locate it. You will easily locate where is the comment came from. It's under the sections under polls, stuff like that. And then you can have the comments here as well. Who commented? Oh, I commented. That's why my name is here. So the name of the one who commented will be here. The comments will be here. It's it's a free feature, so it doesn't have a feature where I can, for example, filter the specific emoji or specific terms that I want. But it's just it's not a bit
It gives
of a
you the
work. So
raw
you
data
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And then we go back to the PowerPoint. Uh,
That's fine.
We're the last one. Please forgive us.
There it is. There
Okay.
it is.
Now you have an overview of how the page work. We would like to say page because it's not our app. She can claim it as her own because you're just using it through Padlet. So now in terms of planning for tracking, this is the outcome that we're trying to why it looks like that. But anyway, the out
It's okay.
okay.
It just
Yeah.
run with it.
And then the outcomes that we want to measure is, for example, the mood and the well-being of the kids. The indicator that we're trying to see is the number of posts. The more posts, positive comments, the more engagement that they have. That is a good indication that probably they're happier, they are satisfied, or their well-being is being predicted as well. And we will get the data from the attendees, the kids and the youth, and how we will be able to track it. Obviously, we will count the comments, the posts, the tags, and stuff like that. And then when we are going to collect the data, ideally, it's a weekly one because if we will do a monthly extraction of data, that's fine as well. But then it will hide variations. And we do not want that. We want to see the trend that is happening, which I think it works for now because their participants is like around 50 throughout the year. So I think it's still practical.
Hmm.
At the Irish, we'll discuss the impacts.
Yes, good morning. So, one of the things that, what do you call this, made us create this app for Søndre Sound is that the thing that we found out about Karen, that she's very much on top of the program. So it's kind of a challenge for her to really, to really maintain the organization by herself. And also one of the things is that it's also a little bit like a challenge for her to put the trust to another person, although she's using external help from other people, but internally she's doing all by herself. So that's why we've seen how divine, what do you call this, told about this app. So through this app, we are actually reflecting on the short, medium, and long-term effects through this app. So tied to the goals of happiness, well-being, belongingness, and empowerment. So let's start with the short term. Short term, we've seen the app. So we saw that because one of the things that we really appreciate about Karin is that she doesn't want to stress the participants upon joining the program. So we start with so we start with what the app showed, like getting the pulse of the participant. How are you feeling today? From the time that they enter the facility up to the time that they leave the facility. So as simple as that, as not so stressful. Checking their mood, if it shifts, from the time that they leave the facility. And so what are the interpretation of this? So interpretation is that it reveals the emotional energy of the participants as they leave, each session. Are they happier? Are they more sad? Are they uplifted? And then the medium term, here we can see where they are starting to get engaged. Of course, they come to the facility often to do podcasts, learning about music, music production, etc. And as the participant continue to engage, the app begins to capture the patterns of if they really feel belong, if they are really connecting. And if we're going to go back to the app, which it's hard to do, we can see there is like a buddy program there, like okay, so if we will determine if they are really sorry, I'm losing words. If they're really engaging by one of the things that that the app is showing is that, are you willing to shout out someone who had helped you today, something like that. So it's a form of engagement, connection. And if they do, then probably they felt belonged. They felt taken care of. Yeah. So interpretation of this is that it reflects relational transformation. So youth become more connected, supported, and committed to the community that they belong at the moment, which is Søndre Sound. And if it sustains their well-being through that belonging. And then the long term, and this is where empowerment, confidence, and better mental health could be realized. So this could be those that are showing up very, very often and probably joining the gigs, wanting, desiring themselves to be, to perform also with other participants. So this shows if their happiness is already stable, being part of their of this group. If there is a growing when it comes to self-worth, if their self-worth is growing, if yeah, if they are as they build confidence, are they willing to also build the confidence of other people, of other participants? If they are willing to, also share, or talk about this program to other fellow youths. Yeah. So in the long term, the interpretation of this is that yeah, as it reflects empowerment, that the participants also build emotional resilience, confidence, and better mental health, carrying the positive impact into their daily lives. And probably this will also lead to the original vision of Karin, seeing more women in the world of music production. This will be like also a good tool for Karin to, as she use this app, she would be able to monitor the progress of her organization, and probably start to cast visions to those who are regularly coming, and also mentoring other participants as well. Yeah. Yes, and yes, so this picture just shows that we actually collated all these pictures. They all came from Søndre Sound website, yeah, Instagram. So we can see here there is happiness among the participants, their well-being. We see that they are enjoying the sessions and strengthen sense of community. So this is what we are hoping for to happen more in the future for Søndre Sound. Yeah.
Just very quickly, the report could look like this, which they report to Sundre Unlimited, I think. So this is just an example of how they can present, so they can see the trend. So this is for the every after session. This is hypothetical, and then this is what we want to see, of course, like a trend that is going up, which shows that if the graph is higher, it indicates that more kids are happier, they have sense of belongingness as well. And then as we promised to her as well, okay, this is just this is the articles that supports that digital platforms are very helpful for those target audience of Søndre Sound. And then yep, sorry. And then this one is that something that we promised to her before, like a tracking system. This is for internal use. So this is for the daily one, like attendance maybe. And then this is her internal record where she can monitor how many sessions did the kids appear in the session. And then she can monitor the achievements and milestones. Then she can conclude probably that, okay, it makes sense that she became a mentor because she attended a total of the sessions that qualified her to become a mentor. And then this person have performed already because she attended this. She can also monitor those paid workshop to her. So
This is not a part of Padlet, or?
it's not a part of Padlet. It's just she can create it on a Google spreadsheet or Excel. Yeah, this is a separate. So that's the end of our presentation.
Very impressive, very practical presentation, not just practical, but this is what, comes to my mind first. So let's open the room for discussion and feedbacks.
Well, Karen isn't here, so I guess I could start. And then the others. Excellent. Well done. I think it's just like the whole flow of the presentation was really good. What is really clear, I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna make an app? Like, psh, that sounds ambitious, it's like, but actually you thought of a very practical solution that is affordable, something that Karen can do today and put into action tomorrow. I think that's like spot on what the request was. In addition, I think that this particular group did a really good job at distinguishing the timing of like when and how, to collect the data. That was really effective. You did a lot of listening to what the program is, like how CADM works, how Søndre Sound works, what are the point of contact with the young people, the idea of measuring something very complex that is a long-term outcome in smaller bites. You know, that was really great. The language you used was really like seemed very fitting for Søndre Sound and their vibe and like their audience. That you really thought about all the detail. I think that was really incredible that you put in a lot of time to think about that and the journey of the young person, and also Karin and her capacity, you know, what there's actually time for. And also the importance of actually connecting. The last slide is like the outputs are fundamental to keep track of, right? So like the distinction between outputs and outcomes, I think, was really good. The language you all used around like what is to be measured. The only thing I'd say is maybe it seemed like a lot of different things you're trying to capture. And I know that there is a red thread that was easy to follow in terms of like how you measure that long-term goal of like more women in music production. And I understood it very clearly because you gave such a good introduction to the statistics of the context, you know, like the challenge. But it did still feel that maybe there needs to be some tweaking on like what is the most material thing that Søndre Sound needs to measure, because youth and young people, a lot of the metrics, a lot of the projects similar to Søndre Sound, it's very challenging to expect to have one activity to improve all aspects of a young person's life. So I think that kind of attribution bit, you know, like what is most material to Søndre Sound and its activities and the young person, I think that could need some work, but this is an awesome start. Like if this is something that Søndre Sound can do this year and then improve on annually, like amazing. I think you've really like hit the nail on the head, I think. Yeah, that's the reference. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, I was also really impressed by the slang word and also you used, and also that's something in line with what Karin's vibe is. So I felt it was like really put together, and I really liked that you just have an emoji. Maybe like the next step also is to like, okay, what's the emoji meaning of the measurement, and maybe to try to see what scale you can use. I also agree with Laura that the long-term effect maybe has to you have to point it out a bit further to see what kind of things that you are measuring and what can Karin do in what part of the youngster's life. Also maybe find a suggestion on the youths that don't have an iPhone or because she also working with a lot of younger kids, so maybe
We have that as well because we're
That's
planning to
good.
do the appreciation board, which
Yeah.
we can put in one of her studios.
Yeah,
And then
that's
she
nice.
can invest in buying some sticky notes or emoji stickers that
Yeah.
they can just like put on there every after
that's
session.
really nice.
But it's just too much if we will include it here. But that's actually one of our alternative as well to cater, you know, the kiss part where it's
Nice.
Yes, mother of a 9 years old. I was having this thought, oh my gosh, iPhones again, or Android stuff, like, that. And on one hand, that it's really nice what you were thinking about, that it's also interactive. But then my next thought was, okay, it means that it will drag kids into. So, but it's kind of a side comment that for sure that's something that you can cope with or enter into a discussion, or Karin can follow that up. But I was wondering because I think I need an explanation, because you have shown us this graphics, the orange one, like as an example of what can happen, what kind of data are gathered. So it connects a bit on Anna's comment. How is this, for example, how do you connect emojis to the items that are being measured here? Have you did you give it some thoughts, or it's just like
Because this is just an example of
yeah,
a report. But initially, we were thinking of like putting emojis here and then the corresponding terms that, for example, if it's a smiley, the corresponding term for that is happy, for example.
Mhm.
But this one is just like, it just said it's happiness up to the top, and then it starts from sad, and then
yeah, okay.
yeah, it
Mhm.
looks like that. But it can also work like having emojis here to be more visual.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's
But
just
then when you with the Padlet, how does that work? That they enter emojis, and then the Padlet, it stores the comments in the graphical forms, and then are you able to transfer it directly, like the emoji with the hearts instead of eyes? For example, it's one, and then how does that work in practice, so that she does not, or that Søndre Sound does not need to code it for themselves? Just
I
really,
think it would
really
depend on the
practical
board, wouldn't it?
thing. Yeah.
Is that the board structure?
yeah, I can't go back to that one, but if you but like if you were able to scan this again,
Yeah.
The emoji entry and the first part, because I made two sections, we made two sections.
Mhm.
The first section is October Søndre Pulse, and just to tell you as well why we put October Søndre Sound, because we are using the free version.
Mhm.
So it's really important to use a format that will give you a data that will help you, because not all the format can give you a data that is very organized, and the most organized among the format is grid. So I hope Karin will take note of that. And then if it's grid, you can create sections. So for example, by the month of November as well, you don't necessarily have to create another post for newcomers and then create another poll for emojis, because on October Søndre Pulse, we did not say that type your emojis or something. We already provided emojis, and then they can choose from. And then the moment that they go to October Søndre Vibe Check, that is the part where they can start to comment and not to put emojis, not just emojis.
Yeah.
They can express it into words already. Then it's easy for Karin as well to extract the word and not emojis, because sometimes emojis, you can look at a smiley and
Mhm.
it could mean for me that it's fine, I'm happy. But if you put like haha, that means I'm very happy. So it sometimes emojis can be constructive, like it can mean different thing with me and can different thing with you.
Yeah, something that Laura mentioned.
Yeah, so sometimes it's better to put a word that can associate already to that emoji.
Yeah.
You give it out instead
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Leave it to an interpretation of everything.
Yeah. And then I hope Karin will take note as well that to make prompts and posts that are engaging and not passive posts, because if you just post something giving out just details, okay, we have a body session this day, that's it. But like an engaging post, it's also important for the target audience, because they're kids, and there are articles already that says that kids in this is an era of generation where they're very techie people. So if they just see words, I'm done with it. I can't read it. So even if it's just small words, they don't care about it, not unless it's very interactive space. So she can as well in consider this advice that, for example, in next month, November, if she's gonna make a new November post, she can already duplicate the post. If you can go back to that one, yeah, you can duplicate the post. Just edit the section name, the dates, the session number, the week, and then you'll be fine. You don't have to create a new one unless you are going to have another set of programs that you want. Then you can post a different one.
Yeah, I have one more question, a clarification question. This buddy program, is this something that, or the mentorship or mentoring program, is this something that you come up with, or is this something that she's doing already?
She's not doing it yet. So it was initially mentioned by Ate Irish, but in this presentation, I think I did not quite emphasize that there's two types of body tag. The first one is just a low pressure body where you can ask a friend if you want to bring a friend that can be your body as well. So the mentorship part, we also consider that the majority, because Karin said that majority of her participants are like 10 to 15 or something.
Yeah.
So she said it herself that the maturity level of those kids are not yet there. But they have the some of them could have the potential as well to be mentors.
Yeah.
So we want to consider that as like maybe a long-term activity. But for the low pressure activity of body tag, it's just you can bring a friend, you can choose someone that you are comfortable with, because kids sometimes are more comfortable when they're with their friends doing a session.
Yeah.
They're really having fun. And then later on, the word of mouth marketing will just follow after, like, hey, we attended there. So then it builds like a, yeah, like I would invite you because we had fun or something. So it's like the ripple effect will gonna happen as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that also Laura mentioned, this development in time that you were able to capture. I think it's really great. And also this idea of, the ultimate outcome that Laura is after. She also mentioned ripple effect. So I also can see that where, I was not around for the full interview, but I was like circling between the groups. But I also can hear the words or the ideas that I heard her talking about now reflected in the presentation, which is really, really great. And then what I especially appreciate is that maybe, in a sense, you are talking about happiness, and there is this attribution element that is tricky, obviously. But what you can, I think, talk with a greater level of confidence is this level of confidence among the kids, and them feeling empowered to help others, to engage, to feel at home there, and to feel good enough to help others. So, thinking in those terms, and also giving her tools to track or to possibly identify the kids that could become those persons who also are part of community, but also actively support it. It's really great, great perspective. Hella, I see.
Yeah, and just as a comment to that, to perform, because we know that's a bigger and bigger issue in schools today, that they are too self-confident and to whatever, to stand on the stage in the classroom, whatever, in front of other people and say something, perform something, present something. So I think that would be very.
Yeah, actually, sorry. Actually, it manifested on the app. It says here dream big. Although we weren't able to include if you're willing to mentor somebody, but it says here that what do you hope to achieve? Like, for example, do a gig and perform a concert, have my own podcast channel. You know, those things that being offered if you wanted to be part of these things. And we just forgot to put the mentoring thing here. Ah, is it here now?
It's, I think it's in slide.
Stand in front of people thinking like you do now.
Yeah.
Young people having big issues with that.
I think she kind of mentioned about that as well. Like that's one of the challenges that she's facing, especially with the kids, with the low self-esteem, like the idea of them being in front, and that's why we kind of understand as well to why she wants to focus, and it's harder for her to get some like volunteers to help her out because she wants to focus on not on a specific kids, but she wants to understand how kids work in terms of growing out their insecurities and how they
Fantastic.
I would just like to add as well with the confidence. I think confidence is, non-negotiable. It's quite really hard to measure because is it based on performance or something? But this one as well with the page through Padlet that we made, it is also, we are also targeting the social confidence and creative confidence of the kids. So it's not necessarily just performance based that they can ready to stand up in front or perform. It's also their social confidence that they are engaging, and then as a result they're creating communities. They are creating skills from Søndre Sound. They're having these skills that can prepare them in the real world. For example, whether they want to have a job that is about music, about podcasts, videography. So at least we may not be able to target the totality of what confidence means, but at least some parts of it are being targeted. At least.
quantified.
Yeah.
Great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
No.